This is Kelly from 1-2 Plus Me and You, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pillow for a seatbelt. This one is going to be for one of my two sons, and I am using a superhero pattern that goes along with the Marvel comics. So you would need two pieces cut 26.5 inches long by 6.5 inches wide, and then also you want to get some 1/2 inch ribbon and cut 9-inch strips. So once you have that, then what we're going to do is measure to find out where to put the ribbons. So what I went ahead and did was take the two pieces and I put them right sides together, and then I pinned it on one of the short ends just so that way it stays together. Then I'm going to measure about 5 inches from the edge, and I'm going to have that 5-inch be right in the middle there, and that's where I'm going to put my ribbon. And this ribbon, you know, is long, so it goes all the way through. I don't really want it to do that, so I'm probably going to pin it here in the middle. I'm going to have a little bit of like a 1/2 inch hang off, and then I'm going to pin it here in the middle so it doesn't get sewn when I go through and sew the side. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I'm going to measure 5 inches and put this right in the middle. So, and then again, I will have this hang off about 1 inch to 1/2 inch, whatever. And then I will pin this in the middle so it doesn't get caught when I'm sewing. I only want to sew here and here. I don't want to sew on the ribbon anywhere else. And I'm going to measure again another 5 inches and then put the ribbon the same way that I did that on both sides. Then another 5 both sides, then another 5, which this is folded, but both sides. And then everything will be pinned down, and as I go through I will be pinning this side to this side as well. And then I will be ready to sew. I went ahead now and measured where all the ribbon should go and pinned it down, and I had 8 pieces of ribbon for this whole project. I did 4 on each side. Forgot to mention that before. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sew along the edge. I might need to press this a little bit with my iron because it's starting to curl. This is a kind of like a soft cotton, maybe almost like a flannel. But it's very soft, and that's why it's kind of curling. So I'm going to start on one end and sew all the way around. I'm going to back stitch on both sides when I start and finish. Now I'm sewing it. I've gone through and started the long side, then sewed a short side. Now I'm going back along the other long side, and as you can see, my fabric goes all the way to the end of the foot. I'm only sewing about 1/4 of an inch in, and then when I get to a ribbon, I'm going to stitch back and then come back again. So I'll stitch one side, back stitch, and then stitch again. So just to reinforce the ribbon. I've gone around now and sewn 3 sides. Sewed 3 sides, and now I'm going to take the pins out and I'm going to trim the edges. Just a little snip across each edge that's been sewn on both sides. And then once that is done, I am going to flip it right side out. Now that I've trimmed my edges and took out the pins, I've right-sided it out, and I have one end that is still open. Everything else is closed, and you can see the ties hang out quite nicely. Now I'm going to take my fiberfill, and then I'm just going to stuff this like a pillow. Now I've gone ahead and stuffed it with my fiberfill, and as you can see, I used quite a bit of the bag. So it's nice and fluffy, but it's also kind of flat because, you know, your seatbelt's flat. So I just figured it would be a lot easier for the straps to stay if this is something that's flat. But I mean, obviously it's a pillow, it can be manipulated as you're using it. I went ahead and I pinned down the end that I need to sew. You can hand stitch this, you can run it through your machine because you can move the batting around. I'm going to run it through my machine, obviously taking the pins out as I go, but either way works fine. And once you're done with that, then your pillow is ready to use, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, I went ahead and sewed the end there, and now as you can see, the pillow is ready for use. The only other thing that I should mention is the ends of your ribbon. You may want to fold them under and do a quick sew through across, just because that could help it not fray, especially if you throw this in the washing machine. So these ends will fray unless you secure them down. People have also been known to burn the edges. I don't do that. I'll probably sew the ends, but know that that's one extra step if you want to go that far. Now to show you the pillow in action. As you can see, it's attached. On one side is where the pillow is. The straps come around to the back and they are tied on. And it's long enough. My son is 5, so this is just to show you. He obviously sits in a car seat. The pillow would work out best for kids in a booster seat or who don't need to be in a car seat. This is also adult size, and it goes all the way down to his waist. But it's a nice comfort, especially since you know, the seat belt kind of cuts him off. He's able to lean his head against it. I wouldn't recommend putting the seatbelt across a toddler or a small child unless the seatbelt is already like that. But this could just be a pillow you put in their lap and they could lean up against and not use the seatbelt until they're older and ready for them to use a seatbelt in a car. But when they are, then it will fit and it's nice and comfortable.